So, coffee gives me the jitters, but it's the go-to beverage we reach for when we feel like... Now, whenever I tell people I'm tired, the most common response I get is, have some coffee. And I politely reply with, it tastes like dirt. And trust me, I was a weird kid. I know what dirt tastes like. But I do have it from time to time. And when I do drink my cup of dirt, besides the hurling and gagging, it does wake me up. I get all jittery and shit. Literally, I'm lactose intolerant. Recently, I started having matcha in the morning, and to my surprise, it also has caffeine. If you want all the caffeine without the side effects, matcha is the way to go. A certain someone from one of my old jobs had really bad coffee breath in the morning. And trust me, you don't want to be that guy. If by some chance that person is watching this video, I'm not talking about you. In fact, your breath smells like daisies.
Delicious.
Matcha doesn't stink up your breath or even stain your teeth. It's full of powerful antioxidants like this. Because of how it's made, grinding up the full leaves brings out all the good stuff retained in the matcha powder. Not only will give you that caffeine you desperately need, it comes with benefits from fighting diseases, infection, and slows down aging. Japan is ranked second in the highest life expectancy for a reason, with Hong Kong being first by a couple of months. Don't believe the facts? You should see my grandma. She's 85, but still looks like she's 40. Isn't that right, Ba-chan? Isn't that right, Ba-chan? On average, a cup of matcha contains 70 milligrams of caffeine, in comparison to 100 to 140 milligrams in a cup of coffee. But as you'll soon find out, matcha can keep you feeling alert for much longer than coffee can. The thing I hate most about coffee is that I get jittery and crash out a few hours later. Matcha's caffeine is released slowly, giving you a longer, smoother hit of energy. So, how do you make this miracle drink? It honestly takes less than a minute. So there's a right way to do this and there's a my way to do this. So we're gonna do it my way. What you do is you get your matcha powder, which I need to open first. You open up your matcha powder, which looks like this. Yes. And you grab some, like that, and then put it in your little thing. I like to put 2 because I like the taste of leaves. And then you do this. See what I'm doing here? This is warm water, not hot. Sounds like pee. Then you grab this and then you beat the shit out of it. I like to put a little milk. As you can see, my milk's chunky. Okay, so we're not going to use milk, we're just going to use water. Once you got that green paste going, I put some honey as my sweetener, but you can put whatever that makes it sweet. Some people will just drink it out of the bowl, but I'm not an animal, so I'm going to put it in a cup. Then just pour that in there. It looks heaps better with milk, but my milk's chunky, so that's this is bon appetit. Delicious. You can buy a pack pretty much anywhere. Just make sure it's a good and not some dude passing Shrek's ashes as matcha powder. Now, I'm not labelled as a certified Google Glazer for no reason. Their apps are actually so useful, and I'm surprised so few know how to use them to their full potential. Google Docs has been to my go-to app when it comes to anything writing. Recently, they released their new feature, Google Smart Chips, and honestly, it's so underrated that few people know how to use it, let alone know about it. To use any smart chip, just type @ and the whole list of drops down. There are a lot of smart chips that Google offers, but I'm only going to show you 3 of them that I use the most to boost my productivity. People chips. It's literally the group project equivalent of adding freeloaders to pick up the slack. File chips. Type @ then scroll through the menu or type the file name you want to attach. You can link slides, pictures, class notes, me, I don't have many friends. Emoji chips. Type @ and then emoji and then type what emoji you want. By the way, this blew my freaking mind. If you press Windows key and period key at the same time, it brings up the emoji menu. I know, crazy. A couple of things I started doing to achieve more in 24 hours is theming my days. Assign a specific theme for each day of the week. For example, you can have Admin Mondays where you work on all your emails, invoicing and scheduling. Or to be more on theme for students, you can have something like FML Mondays. Another thing that I like to do are visual cues. Set up your environment with reminders of tasks. For example, place a book you need to read on your desk or leave your gym clothes by the door. I did this, but I soon realised you have to strategically place these items or it won't work. I used to put my laundry basket at the bottom of the stairs, so I'll take it up when I go up the stairs. But I placed it too far to the side so it doesn't inconvenience me enough to do anything about it. Long story short, the laundry basket is now part of the stairs. So when you do place visual cues for a task, make sure you place it so it inconveniences you enough to stop and think, I should probably do that. A reverse to-do list. Now, what the f is that? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. Instead of listing what you need to do, write down what you actually accomplished during the day. I'm gonna be honest, this isn't my favourite productivity hack, as I always find myself thinking about what to do next, but I have heard it works wonders for some people, which is why I like to have default decisions, everyday decisions already made in advance. From what I wear every week, my square to wipe ratio, and what meals I have every day. I recently signed up to a ready meal plan and it's f***ing awesome. Not having to think about cooking is like having a private chef for a fraction of the cost. Now, you might think this is where I drop a crazy deal and get you to click my link in the description, but they didn't sponsor me, so I don't run a charity. Unless you Google. I use Google Calendar to schedule on all of my tasks, events and appointments. It honestly takes less than 30 minutes to set everything up. I explain how I did it here. Now, with all the time saved, why not use it to learn something new? That's where Brilliant comes in, the sponsor of today's video. If you ever thought, I learn best when I actually do something, Brilliant is exactly what you need. It's an interactive platform that makes complex topics like math, programming, data analysis, and AI fun and easy to grasp. I've never been one to learn much by just reading or listening, but Brilliant breaks everything down into simple, engaging lessons that let you build your skills step by step. Plus, every course is packed with hands-on problem-solving exercises that help you not just understand, but truly master the concepts. The best part? You can jump into Brilliant's lesson anytime, anywhere, on your phone, tablet, or computer. Whether you've got 5 minutes between meetings or an hour to dive deeper, you'll always have something meaningful to learn. And they're always adding new courses. I recently checked out their lesson on large language models, and it was fascinating to see how tools like ChatGPT actually work. Whether you're a complete beginner or already tackling advanced topics like quantum mechanics, Brilliant adapts to your level and makes learning both productive and fun. So what are you waiting for? Head to brilliant.org/soulsimple for a free 30-day trial. And if you sign up through the link, you'll get 20% off an annual premium subscription. Big thanks to Brilliant for sponsoring this video.